So, I've been told recently that I swear a bit too much in my videos, by certain people. Grandma. So, I'm sorry. I'll try not to swear so much. I'll put it that way. I'll just go on a little side tangent. I really hate when people ask if it's necessary to curse in videos, or if you're doing something, because it's just like, it makes you feel stupid, and I hate that. My response will be, if it gets the point across, then yes it does. But, I'll try not to swear too much today. Hello everyone, Britton here. Welcome back to my, channel, where I talk about books, comics, and other stuff that I do. I run a podcast. I run two podcasts, actually. I run, Britton's Hangout Hour, which I am still struggling to find guests for. And, I run Britton Jake Go to the Movies with my buddy Jacob. We do it every other Sunday, so this next week we will be having our next episode. We will be discussing Whiplash, which I'm very much looking forward to. But the book I'm going to be talking about today is All the Pretty Horses from Cormac McCarthy. Now, I'll admit, I didn't really know what to expect from this book. I was kind of unsure. You know, it's Cormac McCarthy. I mean, he's usually pretty good, unless it's Child of God, which in that case, it's meh. But even when he's meh, McCarthy finds a way to make this, make a really interesting book. And this is not a meh book by any means. This is a really good book. I mean, this won a National Book Award, everybody. But, no, this is a lot better than Child of God. I really enjoyed this book. This was actually one of the first books that I read this year, alongside, like, Homicide, from David Simon. And I finished it. And it's a really good book. Not too long, though the chapters are, it depends, like, there's like 4 parts, you see. So, you know, I like to read chapter by chapter, and I stop there. But yeah, no, All the Pretty Horses is a very good book, and another excellent book from McCarthy. I mean, this man is a modern master, by my opinion. And in my opinion, he's one of the best authors who's still alive today. So, you know, I am a bit biased on this. I mean, this book came out right after he put out what many people consider his masterpiece, and one I have grown to admire over the years, Blood Meridian, which is the exact opposite in tone of this book. I mean, I wonder what his fan base thought when he put this book out after putting out something like Blood Meridian. That must have been a whiplash for a lot of people. This book, my buddy Chris put it quite nicely, but he said that this is probably McCarthy's one of his more romantic books. And I would agree with that. This is a book about idealism and adventure. Of course, it goes wrong, you know. McCarthy is not an idealist, of course. But, I wouldn't call him an idealist anyway. Of course, it goes wrong. But, there is a sense of romance and adventure and the world is yours type of mentality. And, I might even dare say this book is whimsical at times. McCarthy's style remains as elegant as it always is. I love his writing style. It is so breathtakingly visual. You can feel the sense. His sense of atmosphere is so, like, immersive. You can feel the grit of his. You can feel the grit on your teeth. You can sense the atmosphere. You can feel the heat. Blood Meridian does this very well, and The Road also does it very well. And this book does it very well, too. I mean, he writes like a painter creates a painting. Like, the scenes are brought to life exceptionally well. This is a Western, so there is some gunplay and standoffs and stuff, but it's mostly an Odyssey adventure. The plot moves along at a leisurely pace because our two protagonists, John Grady Cole, and I think his friend's name is Henry, if I remember right. Yeah, Henry. I think it's Henry. They go on an adventure. They meet a couple of people along the way. They go on some wacky misadventures. They go to jail at one part. That's kind of a spoiler, but they just a lot of crazy stuff. There's surprisingly even some great humor in this, which you wouldn't expect from McCarthy. I mean, he can do humor, but it's not something you expect from his books. Like, Blood Meridian is deadly serious throughout the entirety of this, and then of that book, and then this book comes out, you're like, oh, okay. There's particularly a moment that made me laugh. There's one of the characters, he loses his clothes, or he loses his horse, I think, and he loses, and he gets stuck, and it's like a monsoon's going on. Yeah, you'll know what I'm talking about if you've read the book, and if you read the book, it's probably the best part of it. The Odyssey in this book is not quite as intense as something like The Road or Blood Meridian. Man, McCarthy really loves his Odyssey narratives. Anyway, his books are, this one is not quite as intense as The Road or Blood Meridian, but it is just as grueling. Cormac McCarthy, it's reminded me of On the Road in the way that, the sense of travel and adventure that they go on is, it is not easy. They are often hungry. They often, like, get shortchanged on stuff. They're always running out of supplies. They get jobs at one point, so, you know, that works out for them. But I like the characters. McCarthy has a talent for creating characters and getting you to care about them, even if he doesn't always name them. Like in The Road, it's basically the man and the kid, and that's it. Main character in Blood Meridian, the kid. Now, the main character in this has a name. It's John Grady Cole, but you get the point. There's a romance in this. That's really well done. Surprisingly, he can do romance very well. That surprised me. And again, the moments of humor also surprised me as well. But at the same time, as is with a lot of stories about the romantic part of being young, there has to be that moment that breaks that romanticism, that breaks that idealism, and that happens in this book. There is a sense of melancholy and even disappointment within this book. I mean, the world in this is still dark, but there's a sense from McCarthy, it's kind of like No Country for Old Men, that McCarthy isn't really happy about that. And the characters get punished harshly for some of the stuff that they do in this book. And it is really sad at points. There is a scene by the end that's just, man, really sad. A couple of scenes, really. And the ending actually is on a very morose note, so to warn you, I won't spoil what happens, but surprisingly a very sad book. But there is a deep sadness with this, and it's very much unlike McCarthy's other works. This is a very emotional book, surprisingly. Maybe not like The Road, where it's just like it's like intense, raw emotion just from the entirety of it. But this does have emotion. It's very much about being young and growing up, and that's McCarthy's take on that. This was his first book that really put him in the mainstream, because these other weird books he was doing, I guess that didn't really gain a lot of attention at the time. And everyone knows him from The Road and No Country for Old Men and even Blood Meridian. But that does not mean to discount on All the Pretty Horses, because All the Pretty Horses is a very, very strong novel from him. And it's really sad, but it's also funny and tender. And there's a lot of great stuff. I also love how this copy looks. It's very I just really like how this book looks. I mean, I'm a paperback guy, so you know, I really like how it looks. It's very nice. It's very thin, so you know, it's really quite that book. I'll put it that way. And again, McCarthy proves once again that he is one of the best authors still living today. He is truly a master of his craft, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I really enjoy Cormac McCarthy's books. This is a part of a trilogy. This book is part of what he calls the Border Trilogy. Will I complete it? I definitely will, because McCarthy, even when he's at his weakest, which I would probably say is Child of God, in my opinion anyway, some people might disagree with that, always has something interesting to say. So I'm always looking forward to seeing what he has to say, and hopefully the trilogy will be good. It's his only series, I think, that he's done. So that's interesting. There's also Suttree, which I hope to read at some point. I got it for Christmas this last year, so I'm hoping to read that. I know Jimmy from the Fantasy Network read it, and he really liked it. But, yeah, that's really all I got to say for now. All the Pretty Horses is a really good book. I really enjoyed it. It's a really... it's just good. It's just a good book. And... give it a look, give it a read. This shouldn't be forgotten alongside some of his more famous works, but I do think this book is a winner, and I do think this book has merit. So, yeah, that's basically my review. If you want to go check out my Twitter, you'll see some of my more unfiltered thoughts. Nanny, parents, family, don't go to Twitter. If you want to see, you can go to my Goodreads or Letterboxd, where I write reviews. They probably sound more coherent than the one you just heard. And also come to my Discord. Please, please, please go to my Discord. I love talking with you guys, and I like hearing from you all. I will link it all down below in the description. Excuse me. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I've been Britton, and I will see you guys next time. See you guys later. Bye-bye.